Wednesday's episode of Student of the Gun Radio. What do we have for you today? A Chinese doctor says CV-19, the Kung flu, was indeed made in a Wuhan biological lab. Do you have the courage to believe that? We've got a Brownells bullet points for you, a Student of the Gun homeroom, and guess which show is the #1 show in America? It's one we were talking about just a couple of weeks ago.
We will find out after this opening, huh?
That's right, after the opening.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So thank you to our grad program members, one of our grad program members, for dropping a link to this article from Forbes into the grad program, the Liberty Mastermind group. And it is, and I'm not going to say too long on this, but according to the Forbes article, which was dated August 30th, Netflix has taken Cobra Kai from obscure hit to the #1 show in America. And this is what's interesting to me is how things can play out. And this should be a life lesson to you folks out there. So the show, if you don't know, if you've been living in a cave, the show Cobra Kai started out as a YouTube Red original series. And now you say, Jared or Zach, whoever, is there a YouTube Red?
I'm pretty sure that it got sunsetted in favor of YouTube Premium.
Yeah, so there isn't even a YouTube Red anymore, right? It's now YouTube Premium because YouTube decided they were going to try and compete with Netflix and Hulu and so forth. And Amazon Prime videos, it kind of didn't work. So they did the original series and they filmed over the entire course of 2018, and then they released them, one at a time on YouTube, and then Amazon Prime Video picked them up and sold them basically for, you could buy the one season. It was on sale for $5.99, whatever. Well, Netflix bought them. They bought the entire series. So they did what they always do, or what they typically do. They purchase it. They buy the entire intellectual property, and then they brand it a Netflix original. Kind of like they did with that comedy show with Jason Bateman and all those funny people on it. What's the name of that show with Jason Bateman and Jeffrey Tabor and Jessica Walter? Yeah, that one.
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development, right. So Arrested Development was on Fox, right? And so Netflix bought the intellectual property, put it up, and called it a Netflix original. And it's like, is this newspaper? Like,
well, I mean, season 4 was
season 4 was, and it was pretty much garbage. But anyway, So no spoilers. Now for me, I finished. This was one of those where I disciplined myself. I really did. There's only 10 episodes, and they're half-hour episodes, right? So I disciplined myself. I watched either 1 or 2 at a time. That was it. And I made myself turn it off. So it took me about a week or so to finish season 1. And I finished season 1, and I haven't started season 2 yet. So, but I will be soon.
I think we're on episode 4 of season 1 or 3, maybe.
Of Cobra Kai?
Yeah.
And I tell you what's interesting to me is that this show started out as basically an underground, people really didn't, in 2018, 2019, people were like, whatever, When I first saw the ad for this, I thought that it was some kind of sequel movie to The Karate Kid. I thought, oh no, they're not doing another sequel, because this isn't always the case, but most of the time the sequels to movies just get worse and worse and worse and worse. And that was absolutely the case with the Karate Kid. The first one was groundbreaking, was phenomenal. Everybody loved it. And the second one was kind of like, I mean, we want to see the same characters, so we're happy to see the characters, but okay, not great. The third one was a piece of a steaming pile of dog crap. Okay, the third one was just a steaming pile of dog crap. I saw it one time, and my brain just keeps trying to flush the entire memory out. Then they did a fourth one, and they were so desperate that Ralph Macchio, I'm sure he's like, I like money. You know, Ralph's like, I like money. And it came to the fourth one, and they're like, you know, I like money, but I don't like it enough to do a fourth one. And then for all the millennials and the Gen Zs, they did the Jackie Chan Kung Fu Karate Kid, which was
with Jaden
whatever.
Smith.
Huh?
With Jaden Smith.
Oh yeah, you know, it was a Will Smith.
It was
a Will Smith ego
fine.
production.
It was fine.
Yeah, well,
it wasn't
whatever.
Terrible, but it definitely wasn't as good as the first one.
No, it was nowhere near close. It did not touch your heart like the first one. And see, that's the first one. The characters, you had the villains, the heels, which just were super. You hated them, and then you had the heroes that you really wanted them to win, and you were behind them, and you had Pat Morita, who was just the perfect character. He was the perfect actor to play. I mean, how many times have you people just thrown the word Daniel-san into a conversation? Like, I mean, for 40 years, we've just been throwing Daniel-san, Splinter all gone, just randomly into conversations. So I when I went into this, I purchased on Amazon. They had a thing where you could watch episode 1 for free, right? But you just had to confirm your account, which is whatever. So I went in, I confirmed my account, and I watched episode 1, and I watched it very trepidatiously. I was like, are they gonna crap on my good memories from the 1984 movie? And when credits rolled, I was like, holy crap, that was good. This is crazy. I can't believe how good that was. I was shocked. And Zach, it kind of goes back to what you and I were talking about recently, how some people in Hollywood haven't gotten it yet, and then some people have. Like, for instance, the Big Show got canceled. And why?
Because
why did it cancel the show? Because it was terrible. But
also,
how was it written?
Like a laugh track sitcom, and also PC.
Yeah, it was a super PC cookie cutter laugh track, ha ha ha. No, that wasn't funny, and I don't need you to tell me when to laugh. I know when to laugh. It was just terrible. But it was part of the Hollywood formula, That's what they did. They're like, okay, we're gonna take this big guy and we'll get a bunch of, seasoned Hollywood writers, comedy writers, and we'll just make this show, and it was just a giant stink bomb. And what's sad is, even with Big Show bringing in his buddies, like Mick Foley and stuff, they couldn't save it. So I thought that was interesting, and I thought, what the heck? I just, we talked about it a week or two ago, or a couple weeks ago, or whatever. So there you go. And if you want to talk about it, don't talk about season 2 to me, because I haven't finished it yet, so I don't want to hear no spoilers. All right, PFT videos, the Patriot Fire Team videos, the ones that we said we were going to produce for you. We said we were going to do it, and we did. And you can go to, the first one was up, and it's public, and it's for everybody, and it's free. And we gated the rest of them because quite frankly, I don't want the typical social media toxicity involved in this. So it's super easy. Go to getsotg.com, and Jared set up a super cool introductory thing for you. So you want to comment on that, or is that good enough?
Just go to getsotg.com and you guys will you'll see it.
Yep.
And it'll be great.
And you'll be excited, and you'll join the community, and you get lots of good stuff out of it. So, all right, let people know about the Q&A in the middle of the show and tell them to ask questions. That would be the comment in the show notes. So I just did that. People, if you're watching live on Facebook, or if you're in Discord or anywhere and you have a comment, go ahead and Jared will look at it and we will go from there. All right, we've got a Brownells Bullet Points today, brought to you by Brownells. Boom. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Here's what I'm going to do. On Monday, we talked about gun builds, right? We talked about gun builds and the important things and the things you need to get and so on and so forth. Right now in the United States of America, I tell you what, things are going bananas. And it's good, but it's not good. Jared, what is best for business? Random massive spikes in traffic and sales, or steady, reliable, predictable sales?
Steady, reliable, predictable sales.
Yeah. That is best in business, because quite frankly, right now, these guys, it's great to sell everything that you're making, but you have this huge spike and then things go straight down. Or you get into a position where you don't have the stuff that the people want, so you can't make the sales, so you end up losing the customers, and it's not good. It's not good. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Right now, if for some crazy, strange, bizarre reason you don't have the magazines that you want, as I am speaking the words into this microphone, Brownells has put magazines on sale. Despite, and this is telling for Brownells. Jared, what we talked about Monday, and I said there's this one company that starts with a C and it has the word firearms in it. They're an online dealer, and they were listing guns on their website above MSRP, which is nuts. Okay, which is nuts. Brownells could get away with, they say, hey, you want it or you don't. PMags are $50 now, or $49.99 or $29.99. No, here's what Brownells just did. They put would you say it's a safe bet that the black Magpul AR-15 PMag is the most popular magazine in the United States?
Yes.
Yes. They are in Cheyenne cranking out polymer like it's nobody's business. You're Cheyenne, Wyoming? Yeah, that's where they make them. Cranking them out like it's nobody's business. Brownells put a 100 pack of black Gen 3, the good ones, the Gen 3s, on sale. It's $12.99, but that takes the price down to $12 a piece. If you just want to buy one, you say, okay, Paul, I'm just going to buy one, and that'll be good. I don't need it anymore. $13 on sale from $14.99, $13.31. So when other companies are bending you over the barrel and saying, hey, brace yourself, here it comes, Brownells said, you know what we're going to do for our customers? We're actually going to run some sales. And they're not running sales on weird, crazy, stupid, obscure crap that nobody wants. They're actually running sales on things that people are buying. So that, say what you will about companies, that to me speaks volumes. When a company could legitimately, like lower than dirt, do we need to tell the lower than dirt story? about bending people over the barrel and saying, "Hey, here it comes." Brownells took the opposite track. They said, "Yep, here's what we're going to do for you. We're actually going to give you a deal. We're going to put the most popular magazines in the United States of America on sale." And this is, of course, my warning order to you, brothers and sisters. If you think, Jared, would you say it's fair that regardless of the outcome of the election on November 3rd, that PMags will be gone?
Yeah, the demand is going to continue.
All right. You say, well, no, but if Donald Trump wins, then we're safe and everything's going to be golden. Do you really think the left is going to accept the results and say, oh, well, we lost and we accept that and we're going to move on with our lives now? Based upon the history of what we're seeing, do you think that's going to happen? And if they get enough dead people, illegals, and multiple voters, and somehow the Alzheimer's patient named Joke Biden, if Joke Biden gets elected, Joke Biden has already said that when he gets elected, he's going to rule as the king, and he's going to make it illegal to sell ammunition or guns online. And he's going to reinstitute and permanently put in place the 1994 crime bill. Because he's going to be the king and he's going to have the power according to him. So if you think on November 4th that these PMags are going to be $13 and available, okay. You're like, no, they'll be $9.99 and they'll be millions of them. If 10 years ago I would have gotten into the plastic magazine business. Ladies and gentlemen, so that is what I wanted to bring up today on the Brownells Bullet Points, is the fact that they are available, they're on sale, and this is not going to last forever. It's just not. And I don't want to hear any whining or crying on November 5th about, oh man, I can't find anyone. No kidding. This is when I look at you and say, this is my shock face. No kidding. So go to the sales and clearance section on Brownells, and you'll be amazed. Dude, they've got the Glock slides, the strip Glock slides on sale, which is crazy. They've got Brownells dedicated 308 bolt carriers on sale. In stock. And what did I tell you guys on Monday? The things that are the hardest to make and the most valuable to you if you're going to do gun builds is the barrels and the bolt carrier groups, right? Of course, for pistols, it's be the slide and the barrels. But yep, that's it, man. Don't say I didn't warn you, and I did warn you. So there you go. All right, Jared, what's coming up next on Student of the Gun Radio?
Coming up next, we've got some stuff and junk.
Some stuff and junk. Oh,
Yeah,
that's always good, Dan.
Do you know that Duracoat firearm finishes? Did you know that the reason that we like them is because life is too short to have an ugly gun?
It is too short.
One of the many reasons, of course.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget, if you would like to Duracoat your AK for National Hug Your AK Day, you have basically 4 weeks.
Which is October 18th, not the 20th.
Yes, October 18th, which is, and this is a conundrum that I have. The 18th this year is a Sunday. So do we do like the U.S. Post Office and do official and celebrated or observed? You know how if Christmas is on a Sunday, the post office closes on Monday because that's the observed holiday.
Yep.
So should we take Monday the 19th off as the observed holiday for National Hug Your AK Day, since it actually falls on a Sunday this year?
Maybe. No, I don't know. I think we can
get with the committee. We need to get with the holiday committee and decide whether or not we're going to do a traditional and an observed
I was gonna say, aren't we the committee, like us three right here? But no, the official holiday committee. Okay.
That's the joke.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you meant the people who did the website that got the date wrong.
No, forget those people. Okay. But if you want to have a super sexy, good looking, badass AK in time for National Hug Your AK Day, now's the time to get your butt over to DuracoatFirearmFinishes.com and get whatever color you want. I don't care, man. Get that AK done and hug that. Take pictures of it. And the hashtag is Hug Your AK, right?
Yep. Hashtag Hug Your AK.
Your AK, not your Alaska, but your. Yeah, that's what's funny is when you post AK pictures and you put AK Life, 50% of them are guns and 50% of them are Alaska.
It's okay. People from Alaska will like it anyway.
Yeah, I know. All right, Zach, tell our new listeners and old listeners and all the listeners what they need to be doing.
ShopSOTG.com is the perfect place to go if you are a student of the gun. Whether you want to expand your brain, increase your marksmanship, or help keep your family safe. All that, plus the pimp hand brands that you love. ShopSOTG.com has almost anything that an American patriot would want. Education, enlightenment, and entertainment, and we're open 24/7. Check out ShopSOTG.com today and see for yourself.
That is absolutely what you should do. That is absolutely what you should do. Okay, Jared, I think it's that time of the show. Are there any questiones, any Q's or A's?
I've got nothing on my end.
I got nothing.
Real quick, let me check all of the Q&A sections. Nothing there.
Nothing there. Look at there. All right, well, we can move on to the Student of the Gun Homeroom, brought to you by our good friends at Crossbreed Holsters. All right. So, number one, if you go to crossbreedholsters.com and you decide to make a purchase, which you probably should, I mean, they got good stuff, use the promo code SOTG18. And as always, you're going to save some money with our promo code. I got a question for you guys. How many of you were aware of the fact that Crossbreed Holsters, a dedicated, serious, experienced leather products manufacturer, is making canine collars? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, they're making canine collars.
Oh, you can add your dog's name to the collar.
Yep. So these are, no kidding, this is not your made in China nylon garbage crap. This is a serious, no kidding leather leather collar for your favorite canine. And,
wow, you can like customize the crap out of this.
Yeah.
Sizes, widths, the stitching color,
all
the hardware. You can get brass or stainless. Wow.
Yeah, you can get it brown leather or black leather. So I actually put that specific link in the show notes. And you say, well, what does that have to do with being dangerous on demand, Paul? I mean, Student of the Gun Homeroom is being dangerous on demand. In your household, it doesn't do you any good if you are waking up and there's a home invader, burglar, like standing next to your bed pointing a gun at your head. That kind of doesn't do you any good, right? And you can get an alarm system, a digital alarm system, electronic alarm system. That's always good. And you know what is the alarm system that travels with you and loves you and gives you lots of kisses and affection and stuff?
Simply Safe.
Your dog. Simply Safe. Yeah, Simply Safe loves you, and they give you hugs and kisses and stuff. No, a dog. If you've, like, a lot of you are like, duh, Paul, I knew that a long time ago, but not all of you might be. A well-trained dog is a super effective alarm system to let you know when, and if you train your dog, if you don't train your dog, if you just like give it treats and it's fat and lazy and dumb and just lays around, then okay. But if you actually take a little bit of time and work with the dog, you can tell We know from the dog, our dog's bark, we know essentially what's going on. We know the, hey, what was that noise? It startled me bark, to the, hey, somebody's out there bark, or something's out there. Like, for instance, UPS or FedEx or whatever, if there's actually a person outside of the house and the dog starts barking, we know by that bark that's the serious one. That's not the, oh, what was that noise? What was that noise? Kind of a thing. We know. And you have to trust them. And I think something that people who aren't really dog people or have never trained dogs or whatever, they get annoyed with the dog and because it barks at squirrels or whatever, and they constantly tell it to shut up. Well, eventually the dog's just going to shut up, and he's not going to alert you when there is somebody on the porch or behind the house or whatever. But the other day, the windows were open because it was really nice out, and he started doing that bark. And so I looked out the front window, and I didn't see anybody. I'm like, all right, come on. No, don't false alarm me, right? Well, no, there was somebody in a truck behind the house. And now there's an alley that goes behind the house. It's public. It's not like they were invading our space, but they were back there, and he knew it, and he let me know. And I'm like, okay, good boy. Thank you. You did well. And that's what you want. I mean, in addition to all the other reasons that dogs are good, good for kids, good for families, good for retired people, good for everybody, unlike cats. Your cat's not going to wake you up if there's a burglar. The cat will just go hide in the closet.
The cat will come and trying to scratch your eyes out, so the burglar will have an easier time.
The cat will just go lay under a chair while your house is burglarized. So I thought, what the heck? You guys, a lot of you probably didn't know that Crossbreed is making really nice, well-made dog collars, canine collars. And if you use the promo code, it'll be like getting the customization for free. Oh,
yep.
Oh, yes.
But you still have to enter the customization. Thank you.
Yeah, you have to enter it, and you have to ask for it. But there you go. We're always doing you favors here. All right,
my beautiful wife just brought me some coffee, and I
thank her. So, and how's my grandbaby today?
She's good. She just woke up when I went up there in between the two shows.
Oh, she's such a good girl.
She wakes up with a smile every day. It's great.
Oh, so we alluded to this on Monday's show. Well, today we're going to get into it. It's from thedailywire.com, and essentially it's about Democrats lying to get their way. What? Democrats would lie? Or what does the media always do, Jared? Lies by
omission.
That's right. They're like, oh, we didn't lie. We just failed to mention that. We just failed to mention it. It wasn't a lie. Yeah, but you knew that and you purposely didn't mention it. So that is a lie by omission. So what have we got going on in Nashville? First of all, Nashville, shame on you. Shame on the people of Nashville for putting this scumbag Democrat in office and for putting up with this scumbag Democrat crap. Tennessee's a wonderful state with the exception of two cities, Nashville and
Idaho.
The one on the west side.
Memphis.
Memphis, yeah.
Yeah, Memphis.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. I like Nashville, though, when we went there.
Yeah, it's gotten worse.
It was enjoyable.
They put
that was like 3.
Charge.
Was that 3 or 4 years ago?
Like 4.
Holy crap! Has it been that long? Wow. Well, this is from the Daily Wire, published on September 17th, 2020. The title is Nashville Democrat Mayor's Office Accused of Fabricating Coronavirus Numbers to Hide Low Numbers Tied to Bars and Restaurants. A Nashville City Council member is accusing Nashville Democrat Mayor John Cooper's office of concealing low coronavirus outbreak numbers tied to restaurants and bars in the area, claiming that they are fabricating information. The coronavirus, this is a quote from Fox 17. The coronavirus cases on Lower Broadway may have been so low that the mayor's office and the Metro Health Department decided to keep it secret. And Fox, they said that that's what they reported on Wednesday. The alleged revelation was made in emails between a senior advisor to the mayor and health department official. This is from, I believe, I don't know, but it's a quote from somebody. I guess we'll find out. The discussion involves the low number of coronavirus cases emerging from bars and restaurants and how to handle that, and most disturbingly, how to keep it from the public. And this is, it says the station said, so it must have been Fox 17 again.
Yep.
And they continued on June 30th, contact tracing was giving a small view of coronavirus clusters. Construction and nursing homes were found to be causing problems with more than 1,000 cases traced to each category. But bars and restaurants reported just 22 cases.
So, well, that's enough to cripple an industry, right? I mean, 22 cases, you should put all those. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Nashville, Broadway Street is kind of like Bourbon Street is in New Orleans.
Just a
Broadway
than
is walled.
when we were there.
Yeah, it doesn't smell so much like stale beer, piss and vomit.
Yeah.
But Broadway, that's where all the big country clubs and bars and restaurants. And when you go to a convention in Nashville, you go to the Nashville Convention Center, it's just right down the street. You just leave there, walk a couple blocks, and it's right there. And you spend the whole night there, and you go from bachelorette party to bachelorette party to bachelorette.
It's like the capital or something.
It's the bachelorette party capital of America. I'm not even joking.
Health Department official Leslie Walker asked senior advisor Benjamin Eagles. This is a quote from the email. It says, "This isn't going to be publicly released, right? Just info for mayor's office, ? And then Eagles responded, correct, not for public consumption. A month later, Tennessean reporter Nate Rao asked the health department, the figure you gave of more than 80 does lead to a natural question. If there have been over 20,000 positive cases of COVID-19 in Davidson and only 80 or so are traced to restaurants and bars, doesn't that mean that restaurants and bars aren't a very big problem?" Health Department official Brian Todd allegedly forwarded the email to 5 other officials and asked for help answering how he should respond. One official responded, quote, "My 2 cents. We have certainly refused to give counts per bar because those numbers are low per site. We could still release the total, though, and then a response to the over 80 could be because that number is increasing all the time and we don't want to say a specific number." End quote.
Okay.
So that's the.
We don't have to read the whole rest of this. Here's what we know from this story. This is all we need to know. See, they've been exposed. Somebody got in there and they broke the story. So
Now,
the numbers are low.
There's one thing I want to mention here from the story.
Mm-hmm.
It says that we raised taxes 34%. Is that true? Like, in the span of COVID-19, Nashville has raised taxes 34%.
Steve Glover reportedly asked government attorney to inquire about the emails. The attorney responded, blah, 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 blah. And he said, "We raised taxes 34% and put hundreds, literally thousands of people out of work that are now worried about losing their homes, their apartments, etc., over bogus data. This should be illegal." It shouldn't just be illegal. Every one of these people in the mayor's office, from the mayor all the way down, should be put on trial and go to jail. They've taken the power that they were given by the people and abused it in order to gain more power. The story of the coronavirus is this. It has given people who did not have constitutional authority the excuse to take the authority and run with it, to do whatever they want, whenever they want, to whomever they want. What did we talk about on Monday with Pennsylvania? What did the judge say? Arbitrary and overreaching. Put those words in your lexicon. Mayor's offices, governor's offices, they've just decided, well, we now have been given a golden ticket. And anybody or any business that we don't like, well, we'll just shut them down. If we do like them, if they give us healthy, big, fat campaign contributions. Jared, when did we do the show about follow the money? We did a show here and we broke it down and we said, hey, who's getting rich over the Kung Flu panic? And where are they and who are they donating money to? And through the Freedom of Information Act, we were able to discover that a whole lot of these companies that were given waivers also just coincidentally are donating thousands, if not millions, to your favorite Democrat campaign. So the people, all right, ladies and gentlemen, all right, if you're worried about the phantom Kung Flu and, you know, and it's going to kill the whole world, first of all, you're not paying attention to reality. Where are the what was it supposed to be, Jared? 250,000 dead by Easter?
Yeah.
We were going to have 250,000 dead by Easter. And then they revised the numbers and they're like, did you see that guy who was being eaten by a bear in the Great Smoky Mountains? The coroner came out and said that he died of COVID.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. I mean, we had a guy died in a motorcycle crash. They put CV-19 on his death certificate, and they got caught. And they're like, oh, we didn't mean that was an accidental oversight. No, you put it on the death certificate, filed that, and got your cash bonus. Stop lying to us. Ladies and gentlemen, is this the future you want for your country? Because eventually the Kung Flu, they'll have run out, right? Eventually they'll have worn this out. But if we allow this criminal behavior to stand, it'll be something else. In a year or two, it'll be something else. It'll be another reason for these tyrants in government to restrict the freedom of the people, to crap on the Constitution, and to enrich themselves and enrich their buddies. This guy should be forced to resign, and his entire administration should be held. You know what the RICO is? Racketeering and corrupt or influence and corrupt organizations. This is a RICO case right here. You say, but Paul, it's just, who cares? I mean, who cares if they lied? It's just for safety. Yeah. So all those people they're in the banks don't care. You know, this councilman pointed it out. He goes, so we have businesses that have been arbitrarily put out, closed by this mayor's office based on lies. And now the bank says, hey, that was nice and all that, but we want our mortgage money. And if you don't give it to us, and Jared, remember when the U.S. government deliberately bankrupted the small family farms? Who was there to swoop in and pick up the banknote? Farm Corp. All these huge farm corporations. In the 1980s and then early into the 90s, the U.S. Department of Agriculture pulled the rug out from underneath thousands of small family farms. And within a year or two, the banks said, hey, sorry, your crops didn't grow. Sorry, you didn't get the seeds. Sorry, but we don't care. We're auctioning off your farm. And so, you know, AgroCorp swoops in, buys the family farm at a discount because they got cash. They're good. They buy it, and then they say to you, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We own the property now. We own the machinery. We own the barns. but you will let you work for us as our employee. And here's what it's going to do. So when the government bankrupts businesses and then the banks come in and foreclose on them, who is standing in the wings? Which major Democrat Party donors, which corporations are standing back in the wings waiting for these bank auctions so they can swoop in and buy this property real cheap? That wouldn't happen, Paul. That wouldn't happen. They wouldn't swoop in and buy up all these bankrupted small businesses. Really? That wouldn't happen? It's happening. This is all happening, and you're hiding behind your stupid cloth Chinese mask, telling people to stand on the little footprint sticker on the floor and don't get too close. While you're living in fear, these government officials are working with their big corporate buddies. And I'm not one of these corporate, boogeyman guys, but this is real. And we've got to hold these people responsible. They have to be held responsible for their actions, or it will never stop. And you will not recognize this country. In 25 years, you won't recognize it. Are you guys ready for some truth? Are you prepared to accept the truth? Story from NewYorkPost.com, brand new, September 14th. Chinese virologist posts report claiming COVID-19 was indeed made in a Wuhan lab. You mean what we've known all along, but the media and the Democrats have tried to convince us isn't the truth? They got Winston in the Ministry of Truth burying this information and destroying all the articles. Jared, you want to read the first couple paragraphs?
No, I'm actually just going to read the final remarks from the actual study because that's the source document. So
okay.
In the study here, I read most of the study and there's a lot of stuff that I don't understand in here, but at least the final remarks. So I'm going to have to contact a couple of my friends and see what I can understand. But the final remarks are pretty easy to read and understand. It says many questions remain unanswered about the origin of SARS-CoV-19. Or I mean CoV-2, so COVID-19. Prominent virologists have implicated in a Nature Medicine letter that laboratory escape, while not being entirely ruled out, was unlikely and that no sign of genetic manipulation is present in the SARS-CoV-2 genome. However, here we show that genetic evidence within the spike gene of SARS-CoV-2 genome does exist and suggests that the genome should be a product of genetic manipulation. Furthermore, the proven concepts, well-established techniques, and knowledge and expertise are all in place for convenient creation of this novel coronavirus in a short period of time. Motives aside, the following facts about SARS-CoV-2 are well supported. Number one, if it was a laboratory product, the most critical element in its creation, the backbone template virus, is owned by military research laboratories. Number two, the genome sequence of SARS-CoV-2 has likely undergone genetic engineering through which the virus has gained the ability to target humans with enhanced virulence and infectivity. Number three is the characteristics and pathogen effects of SARS-CoV-2 are unprecedented. The virus is highly transmissible, onset hidden, multi-organ targeting, seculae unclear, lethal, and associated with various symptoms and complications. And number four, SARS-CoV-2 caused a worldwide pandemic, taking hundreds of thousands of lives and shutting down the global economy. It has a destructive power like no other. And then it says, judging from the evidence that we and others have gathered, we believe that finding the origin of SARS-CoV-2 should involve an independent audit of the WIVP4 laboratories and the laboratories of their close collaborators. Such an investigation should have taken place long ago and should not be delayed any further. We also note that in the publication of chimeric virus SHC015MA15 in 2015, the attribution funding was initially left out, and that's the funding of the Xingli by NIAID. It was initially left out. It was reinstated after the publication in 2016, perhaps after the meeting in January 2016 to reinstate NIH funding for gain of function research on viruses. This is an unusual scientific behavior which needs an explanation.
Okay, let's go ahead and let's get to the here's the main problem here we have is a failure to deal with reality. There's actually a story from January 27th. This is before the I'm surprised they haven't scrubbed this from statnews.com. It says bird flu, SARS, China coronavirus. Is history repeating itself? Sometimes history seems to unspool in a contagious back loop. And the story goes on to say about the problem with wet markets and the improper slaughter and care of food products and yada, 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 right? So, but we know, and we also know that this is a fact, the largest biological warfare lab in China is in Wuhan province. We know this. We know that it started there, but it's just a coincidence. I mean, can you imagine if Salt Lake City had the largest biological weapons manufacturing plant in the United States and a virus started in Salt Lake City and everyone said, oh no, it's because the Mormons don't drink coffee. That's why. It has nothing to do with the biological warfare center that's right there. No, it's a total coincidence. Has nothing to do with it. All right. We know that the bird flu, very real, very contagious, came from China. All right. We know that the original SARS, right? Remember the original SARS? You guys have long enough memories to remember that? Came from China. Okay. Coronavirus, another form of SARS, came from China. Now, on one hand, they're running for cover and they're like, oh, no, this didn't happen in our biological warfare labs, and we're not just completely and totally inept. And the doctor who discovered it and reported it died a week later.
And also, it didn't just, it's a total coincidence that it happened in the middle of large civil unrest in China. Also a coincidence.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with them wanting to put down the pro-freedom demonstrations in Hong Kong. Because does anyone remember all the pro-freedom demonstrations in Hong Kong? And then, boom, virus. Here come the trains. Here come the troops. We're done. That's a total coincidence, Zach. Because the Chinese Communist Party is the most trustworthy group of individuals on planet Earth. You say, come on, Paul, there's no way that you can convince me that this is purposeful or deliberate. There's no way. Okay. But we know, and so what we'll go with your plan. We'll go with it's a complete and total accident. And it's a product of the unregulated wet markets. How long have these unregulated wet markets been going on? Well, they were going on when we had the bird flu thing, and they were going on when we had the original SARS thing. A long, long time. Okay, well, what is the Chinese Communist Party doing to stop that situation? Well, what do you mean? Nothing. You can't stop it. This is the number one question that you need to ask yourself, and it's a two-part question. Is the Chinese Communist Party deliberately evil and allowed this either developed it in the Wuhan labs and it got out, whether by purpose or, whether by design or accident, or are they completely and dangerously inept, reckless, and stupid? Because one of the two questions is a yes. It actually could be both. But they're not no. We know that these horrible viruses keep coming out of China. We know this. It's indisputable. Whether you think the Wu flu or the Wuhan flu or that's racist. You can't say that. No, it's the truth, moron. We know that. So whether you think it came from people eating bat soup in a wet market in Wuhan province, or whether it got out of the lab on an infected, one of the lab workers got out, walked around, infected a bunch of other people, and then it spread. Either way, it's still coming from China. And it's either coming through deliberate and purposeful evil through the Chinese Communist Party, or it's a result of dangerously corrupt, inept, and reckless behavior. Neither one of those are good excuses. And here we are being commanded by our masters in the state capitals and in City Hall, stay in your houses, close your businesses, whatever. How about holding the people who are releasing this crap on the world responsible? Well, no, that's not the answer. Going after the source of the problem isn't the answer. The answer is to punish the American people and take away all their rights and to control them, to control everything they do, everything they see, everything they touch. That's the answer. The answer is to destroy the economy so we can get Donald Trump out of office, not hold the people responsible for it, responsible for their actions. No, can't do that. Let's buy $100 million worth of cloth masks from China. So we know for a fact whether it was deliberately released by the Chinese Communist Party, whether it was released through ineptitude, or whether it was released because of reckless and stupid behavior. Either one of those gets a yes vote. So what we're going to do is we're going to reward China by buying $1 million worth of their cloth masks. That sounds like a good plan, because they'll certainly learn and fix their behavior, right? All of you guys out there, like all of you pro-mask, against mask, whatever. Here's the whole point. The whole point is, when are we going to hold these people responsible? So you, the bar owner on Broadway Street in Nashville, we're going to hold you responsible. We're going to shut down your business and bankrupt you. And if somebody says Wuhan flu, we're going to attack them and call them racist. We're going to have Facebook scrub their post because it's offensive. Yeah. You guys ready to deal with reality yet? Or are you going to continue to hide behind your stupid Chinese cloth mask and just pretend like everything's okay? And explain to me this. Okay, so once the coronavirus panic, once it's run its course and it's no longer useful to the Democrat Party, why do we believe that this isn't going to happen again? It's already happened before. They've done nothing to make it stop happening. So we're just destined to live in this continuous, never-ending loop. That's a world you want to give to your grandkids. Okay. All right. You've got the information. Do with it what you will. All right. Jared's going to give you a little bit of advice to do something positive during this horrible situation in our country. How are we going to save this country and bring it back together, Jared?
Yep.
Community.
I would say community is a big deal. And that's right now the nation is divided in I think we believe here at Student of the Gun, the best way to fix that issue is to build a strong community of people that are local to you. And so what we did is we've actually expanded upon our Patriot Fire Team idea, and we've started producing an educational series. And the best way to get that is to go to getsotg.com. There's the first video in that series is currently at the top of that website, getsotg.com. So you can watch the entire first video. It's like 15 minutes long. If you want to watch the whole thing, it's not going to be there forever. However, that video will always be public. And if you want to join and see the rest of them, I don't know how many units or lessons there are going to be. Currently, we've got 4 produced, and I know there's a lot more because we've got the AR versions of the stuff done, and there's an AK version, so there'll be at least 4 more plus the leadership stuff. So
we're planning on a dozen.
A dozen? Okay.
A dozen Patriot Fire Team videos.
So we'll have a dozen lessons up there, and the best way to get that, go to getsotg.com. You can start a trial to the grad program for $1. If you're already a grad program member, you've already got access to that. So just log into the student lounge, and there's a button there that you can go watch these videos. And so go do that. Go to getsotg.com. If you're not a grad program member, join it for $1. Watch these videos. I really liked the first video, and Alex did a great job with the production too. It looks fantastic. So go do that.
Yes, indeed. You know, a lot of you guys are frustrated. A lot of you are out there saying, you know I should be doing something, but I don't know what to do. I don't have a plan. That's what we're doing here. You understand you should be doing something. You need to be doing something positive and proactive to ensure the security of your community, your family, your neighbors. And what we're doing with the Patriot Fire Team series is we're laying it all out. This is the blueprint for the new neighborhood watch, the new and improved neighborhood watch. So it's there, it's available. We put a lot of work and effort into it, and all you've got to do is just do your due diligence, sign up, and take advantage of it. There you go. All right, well, we're going to be back. If you are a grad program member, congratulations to you. We're going to be back tomorrow on Thursday for the bonus hour, and then, of course, we'll have another one on Friday. Until then, remember, kids, you almost drunk your coffee, didn't you? You're a beginner once.
You're a student for life.
We appreciate your reviews. If you haven't left a review or updated yours recently, head on over to Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast player to voice your opinion. Don't forget to join us at the Student Lounge, a place for like-minded individuals to learn, connect, and support each other. No chicanery will be tolerated. Remember to check studentofthegun.com daily for new, free content and giveaways. Watch, listen, read, shop, and connect at studentofthegun.com. Are you a social butterfly? Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for new content each and every day at Student of the Gun. Watch Student of the Gun TV and videos from our trusted partners on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Chromecast, and even AirPlay. Go to studentofthegun.com for direct links, and remember, you're a beginner once, a student for life.